Scramble for a portion of the national budget begins in earnest. A day after President Bola Tinubu submitted the proposed 2024 budget, as lawmakers in the Senate begin the debate on the general principles of the appropriation bill. After deliberating on a motion that seeks to end violence against girls and women, marking this year's 16 days advocacy on gender-based violence, the Senate stepped down all other items on its order paper to make room for the budget debate. The Senate went ahead with the debate despite objections in some quarters that the exercise cannot be thorough enough without senators having copies of the budget showing details of the sectorial allocation breakdown.
I want to sort things out. I want to smoothen the rough edges, but apart from the figures presented on this paper, I don't have the budget to look at.
During the second reading, it's only the general principle, merit and demerits of bills that are debated.
Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele, in his lead debate, admits that the budget is still high on recurrent expenditure at 40% of the budget, and especially with a deficit of 9.8 trillion naira that has to be financed from borrowing. He said the alternative, which would be suicidal, would be to cut expenditure and shrink the economy. And this, he said, could lead to massive job loss.
The second option, which is more dangerous, is to shrink the economy and risk political suicide and economic turbulence.
13 senators were billed to speak on the budget on the first day of the special session, with many of them lobbying strongly for allocations to critical infrastructure in their senatorial districts. While Senator Garba Musa from Kebbi South wants the federal government to convert the funds for palliative in his state for the completion of a road in his constituency, his counterpart from Akwa Ibom State, Ekong Samson, draws attention to the East-West Road.
I have the mandate of my people. The palliative the government is giving, we have the authority of my people that this palliative be transferred to capital expenditure so that the Benin Yauri Zuru Road can be constructed with it.
For the people of Akwa Ibom South, about 12 LGS, so much is expected from this budget.
This was our Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaha. Kogi Central wants resources channeled to improve infrastructure in education and healthcare for our people.
It would interest this House to note that in terms of need and whenever there are security calls, policemen and DSS officials get to the situation spots on Okadas. Speaking for Kogi Central, distinguished Senator Karimi, you may as well speak for Kogi West.
There were, however, a few concerns about the exchange rate of 750 naira to $1 and the timeline for the lawmakers to complete work on the budget. Omo Bazwai, Arise News.